This is not a program about a bunch of scientists coming and lecturing to monks and enlightening them, nor is it a program where it's credulous people from the West coming to be completely enlightened. It really is a cross-cultural exchange. We're trying to forge something that's bigger than the two cultures separately, trying to take the best of both and see where they fit and where they don't fit.
When I first heard the Dalai Lama, one of several things that really impressed me was his openness to science and his conviction that knowledge comes through experiment, through the senses.
It's the observation of the mind they specialized in. Well, what about the observation of nature? This is the knowledge that they're missing in their whole intellectual space. That gap has to be filled.
He sees this as being entirely parallel, similar to what was going on in the ancient Buddhist schools of learning, like the Nalanda school. So he makes this point in the Nalanda school. Not only were the monks in training learning about Buddhist philosophies, they were learning about the engineering of the time, the medicinal traditions of the time, so they were learning all the other traditions of learning. And he feels that science is an important component of their education.
We really need effort to promote these basic human values, not through religious or approach, but through scientific approach.
This initiative holds tremendous potential for our knowledge, the advancing our knowledge, because it's through teaching those contemplatives this scientific knowledge, providing this scientific knowledge, that we have the opportunity in the future to really have that actual meeting of the best of the scientists and the best of the contemplatives, that who can jointly tackle the issues of how to understand the emotions, how to bring changes in that.
It will be very difficult to find a religious leader who will have such a vision. And thereby you will also not find many, perhaps universities or institutions who have done this before.
This is an exercise, an experiment in adult education, right? You try and teach a comprehensive science curriculum to adults who are already very sophisticated learners and very sophisticated thinkers. That's something we don't usually do.
Since this project began, the Emory faculty have been, writing materials for the class, and we have been translating those. And now, we are in the verge of producing, the first two textbooks. One for cosmology and the other for life science and neuroscience.
Two models of the solar system. They both make the same predictions about where the planets will appear in the night sky.
One of the remarkable things about teaching these people is that many of your assumptions just don't work, and it really forces you to think through logically what are the real bases of science, what are the pillars upon which it's built, and how does that then work out into the various scientific disciplines. So one of the things that I'm really intrigued with about this program is that I think it's an incredible workshop for teaching, for trying to study and understand how we might better teach science.
And then for different Ds, you'll get different Ts.
Stop! Emory has tremendous strengths at the interface of spirituality and science, and many of us are involved in researching things, for instance, like the effect of meditation on basic physiologic processes that are relevant to health. And I think one of the things we're doing is we are developing a shared language between scientists and contemplatives.
The Buddha said that his followers should accept his teachings and the realities, the concepts, after proving them with reason and testing them them with good methods.
I think inside these leaves, they have more water than other one, I think.
Yeah, they keep the water inside a little bit better. We've definitely come up at least a couple thousand feet from there, so maybe we're at 5,000 to 6,000 feet here. And if we can get up a little bit further above the tree line, that would be another great change that we could witness.
It's excellent being church science to monks and nuns, as they also have to know about the outside world and the thought of what the non-Buddhists believe.
The Tibetan Buddhist culture, in its outlook on science, is roughly where we were before the Renaissance. And they are going through the Renaissance now.
Vibrant cultures have to reinvent themselves, and that's scary, it's risky, doesn't mean it's going to turn out. It's like analogous in a way to biological evolution. Just because change happens doesn't mean it's going to work. But it taps, to my mind, the best of human capacity for self-invention, self-transformation, self-production.
What do you mean by that? That's the symbol for active learning.
Very good point.
For a long time.
Very good. You're very observant.
It's a very small offspring.
For the peace, long-term peace and harmony of the whole humanity, this kind of project I think is extremely important. Then of course it is very much related to enhancing the physical and mental health. And simply said, it is very clear that through science and medicine, it really can improve the physical health, and the Buddhist knowledge can definitely help improve the mental health. And all of us need both, not just one, you see.
When His Holiness was on campus, he talked about an education for the heart and the mind. For a Western university to really take on this education of the heart and the mind is quite unprecedented. How can we take on an education for the heart and the mind in a non-religious context? But if Emory were to take this on and really do a good job of it, I think we'd provide a tremendous benefit to our students and to society.